All my life, people have been mooching off of me. Every girl I've ever had sex with has stolen cash out of my wallet, yet I can't remember to put it in a different drawer. I work at a job I hate to make money for other people, and nobody ever gives me any thanks. Now I'm an old man who just wants to bang Asian hookers, and I still can't get any peace.
Rather self-explanatory, isn't it? I will talk a bit more about the difference between working for others and working for self. But this little video that is on the internet called Jerry is worth a watch.
You're doing fine all by yourself, little man. I don't know if it's a pink whale or a trout, but it'll do. It'll do just fine. He put an arm around Danny's shoulder and the boy reeled the fish in, little by little. Wendy sat down on Danny's other side, and the three of them sat on the end of the dock in the afternoon sun. The end. Wow, I can't believe I read you the whole thing in one night. Huh.
The worst part about the video is the beginning. It is him reading a bedtime story to his child, and then for like 5 minutes his child is going to look at the closet, is going to be scared of mortality, and little things like that. Nothing worth, in my personal opinion, to show. The interesting part comes a bit later, when you start seeing his mother and the relationship that he has with his mother and his father, and the correlation between the two.
He dyed his hair or something.
He dyed his hair? Why would he dye his hair?
I have no idea. Don't acknowledge it or anything, he probably just wants attention. Joe, where are those papers we had to fill out?
Upstairs. On the dresser, I think.
Okay, let's get the show on the road.
You want some breakfast, sweetie? I like your hair. You're scared, huh? I know, sometimes it's hard to figure out why grown-ups do the things they do. But me and your father, we're not bad people, sweetie. We've made a lot of mistakes, but we're not bad people. For the first time in our lives, we're trying to do something good for you, even though it may not seem like it. Someday you'll understand. You're a very special boy, Jerry. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
Okay, everybody out in the car, let's go, people!
What is presented here in a way is sad, but it's kinda the Western world's mentality through motherhood. Usually within movies or videos, it's usually the neglect of the father that creates the boy's living. I mean, having a strong father figure as a boy is very important. But the mother in movies, in videos, in the West is usually presented as this stuck in some sort of traumatic situation, a harder situation, but she has the heart at the right place. Obviously this, for different people, isn't the life, but it is what usually is presented in videos. And here we see a clear thing that, she blames the father. She says, I'm trying, your father is trying, but in the same time, we're seeing the thing that she is trying, but the father is also the issue. They also spoke later they're going to have a divorce, but things end up differently.
Being such a jackass? There's no reason he can't keep this thing. It's completely harmless.
Shit. Stop slouching. You're at your mother's funeral, for crying out loud.
So by killing the mother, as they do, they remove the necessity of, 1 week there, 1 week there. But at the same time, they have now removed one of Jerry's figures, something he can look up to, something he can fight for, which is also extremely harmful for a young boy. Sadly, they also removed the viewing of woman, how a woman should be, how a mother should be, which will be harmful for him in the later run.
So, Jerry, I've been thinking, what with you, killing your mother and all, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that, needs to get done. Stuff your mother used to do. Laundry, cleaning, etc. I can't do any of that stuff. I'm terrible at it. I'm starting to rethink the whole orphanage thing. You should stick around and do the laundry and stuff. Anytime you want to throw in your 2 cents about any of the preceding events is fine. Really? Nothing. You kill your own mother and you have nothing to say about it. I don't get you. You're so weird. Why, Jerry? Why are you so weird? I know you like to do your whole self-pity thing. I'm a victim, oh woe is me, my life is so terrible. Yeah, I get it. But let me tell you something, pal. You're not the only one in this world who has stuff to deal with. I never asked to be a dad. I had things I wanted to do. When I first found out I was gonna have a son, I was so excited. Someone I could teach to play baseball. Someone I could watch the game with. Like a little version of me. For the first time in my life, I actually had something to look forward to. And what do I get? Some poetry writing pansy who's too afraid to open his mouth. All I wanted was someone to relate to. But I'm such a failure I couldn't even get that right.
I'm sorry. I don't think you're a failure.
Don't touch me. Jerry, I've decided that, as punishment for killing your mother, you're grounded for 3 days.
All of this is a lot to take in, what just happened. But the best way I think I can describe it is he destroyed his life. Well, he didn't destroy his life, as in he was to live a life, but destroyed any hopes and dreams or aspiration that Jerry will ever have. The only father figure, the only thing that Jerry could look up to, has disowned him. The father even described it as, I wanted to have someone I could fight for. I wanted someone I could play baseball with. But because he even said, you didn't do that, Jerry, you failed me, or you're weird, you're stupid, all that kind of stuff, has created a picture in Jerry's brain, and this picture will always be there, that I am a failure, that I will never accomplish anything. And that is the most destructive part. So now mother is gone, so that is one hope that is totally gone from his life. And now his father has disowned him. He blamed Jerry for his mother's death, which is obviously his own fault, so it's projection. And overall, just say that you are weird, you're stupid, you're odd, you're not what I wanted you to be, and other things like that. All of this will print into Jerry's skull and kind of repeat itself throughout Jerry's life if he doesn't find another father figure. So that was Jerry. That was his entire existence, more or less. The nuance came to him as a child with his father, his mother, and all of those kind of different aspects in life. But as an adult, because of his failure in childhood, he accomplished nothing. He was a store clerk and he had a nice place, but he did nothing with it. He had 2 women in his life, one that he accidentally made pregnant through a broken condom, and later became a part of his life. And his existence repeated itself because he did no change. He lived through the same absurdity constantly. And in the end, he chose to kill himself, which is a fine answer. It's a weak answer, but a fine answer. Because in the end of the day, Jerry had 3 answers. It was to continue, to kill himself, or find happiness. And sadly, people in Jerry's position, which childhood has been lacking, where hope and aspirations and dreams and just an idea of difference doesn't exist. You know, what usually a mother or father can create is telling the son that you will be an astronaut, or telling your son that they will be the president. That's actually more important than what you think, because then they will start to imagine things. And when they start to imagine things, they will become hopefully creative and try to find creative solutions in redundant answers, like redundant questions. But because Jerry didn't really care, because Jerry didn't have anything, because Jerry didn't dream, his existence became repeating. It became the normal. It became just a struggle of everyday normality, of nothingness. I mean, Jerry had a stable job. Jerry had a house. Jerry had women coming over. He wasn't an incel. He wasn't completely alone. But he chose not to innovate. He didn't choose to improve himself in any way. Because how? Like, you as a young person, you think that you have the entirety of the life ahead of you. But when you're in your 30s and you have done none of what you have dreamt of when you were 20, the chances of you doing something new now is also very harsh. I will tell you a story. I remember in university, there was this 35-year-old woman who has, through her entire life, been a clerk, just like Jerry. But she decided to go to university, and I decided to help her. She was constantly in a worry because she's not used to higher education. She's not used to this. She's gone to school in like 15 years. And she was afraid that she would fail. I helped her, and another person also helped her, and she passed. And when she passed, I think it was a bliss which she never really felt before. An accomplishment that she never really felt before. And that hopefully has given her some clue or some creativity to change her life a bit. Not entirely, she will still be a store clerk, because it's still a good income. But maybe travel, maybe write, maybe take photos, maybe do something else, something that gives you happiness. So, as an advice, and as a cautionary tale in a way, after watching this, I recommend you being a bit spontaneous, doing something that maybe in the long run doesn't look like something worthwhile, but a mix, like a change of patterns of what you already have. Because trust me, even the smallest changes can create, a tsunami worth of change. So with that said, don't be like Jerry. Never be like Jerry. Don't be like Jerry and Rick and Morty. Don't be Jerry here. Don't be this known man that only other people, which is mistakes, change. Make your own changes. And don't choose suicide. I mean, do it if you're Jerry, but try to enjoy life. Try to see life from a different perspective by choosing to do differently. Anyways, thank you very much.